most difficult things for me during this lockdown, sequestration, business closure thing is that it has eliminated from my view dozens of possible futures. I don't know if you feel the same, but I look out and it's very day to day. And I feel at the mercy of some people who don't care about me at all, don't care about you, don't care about anything other than achieving their power goals. That's how I feel. And to me, the idea that we're going to be able to just turn all this off and go back to normal, it seems to be a remote possibility. Now, I suppose there's a chance that somebody will swoop in at some point, or a world war will start, or something drastic would happen. But if we just keep continuing on down the road we're going on, this torture of not quite apocalypse, not quite doom, not quite war, not quite anything. If we keep going down this path, I fear that we will just slowly but surely slide into the technocratic possible future. Because they are bargaining with us right now. Bargaining with us that they will return some of our life to us, some of our freedoms to us, some of our future to us, if only we give up freedom to them, if only we give up privacy to them, if only we accept their invasiveness into our lives and businesses and all of it. So today, I want to read to you the World Economic Forum future. There's an article written in the World Economic Forum about what it's going to be like to live in the year 2030. I'm going to read that part of it, and then I want to slide you into my idea of a possible future. I want to say right off the bat, I wish we still had 1,000 possible futures in front of us. And my idea of a possible future is not my dream. It's not the dream I had for my life. But my dream has changed now. My dream now is simply to preserve areas of the world that are not the techno future. All right? So that's the point of view that I'll be coming from when I look at that in a minute. First, just quickly, the video I did a couple of weeks ago, the 7-step recipe for vaccine demand, which was all about how the vaccine companies at one point in 2003, they got in touch with the CDC, Centers for Disease Control, and they said to them, nobody's buying vaccines. We have very, very low demand for vaccines. So the Centers for Disease Control became the de facto advertising agency, marketing agency for the vaccine manufacturers. And it's all laid out there how that happened. It was a guy called Glenn Novak, and he literally made something called the 7-step recipe for generating vaccine demand. In that video, I relied heavily on this. HuffPost, written by Lawrence Solomon. Don't believe everything you read about flu deaths. And it's a fairly long article going over the numbers and how, by a combination of changing definitions and modeling, this modeling thing that they do, the number of regular influenza deaths in the United States was massively increased by deception in order to be able to go out and make this marketing campaign for the flu vaccine. So this article was online when I made this video. I relied heavily on it, and it was linked in the description box. But wouldn't you know, since that video came out, that article has been removed from the internet. Wow. It was pretty damning. So now they're just burying it. Everyone should be aware of how total the push to vaccinate the world is, and how total the censorship is becoming. They don't want us to know the truth, and they don't want us to have a choice, and they don't want us to have facts to back up our arguments. Anyway, that article is on Web Archive, and I will link to that down in the description box for you. Before I read the World Economic Forum's vision of the future, I want to point out that Prime Video from Amazon, one of the companies allowed to operate during the lockdown. Prime Video from Amazon put out this little trailer today called called Afterlife, I believe. And it's all about uploading yourself into the cloud, into the virtual reality. When you go into a hospital, they'll give you the choice. Oh, well, you've got a very bad condition. You might not make it. Would you rather go into surgery, or would you rather we upload your brain into the cloud right now? How much like the Matrix is that? And yes, it's fiction, but they must prepare the mind before they can offer these things in reality. Must open up that space of your imagination into which they will slide. And here today, Elon